Well, there's no escaping it. It's time for more Jujutsu Kaisen, and if things are as I remember them, well, there's a big mech fight coming up. Didn't expect to see more Evangelion, but it's not exactly unappreciated. Whenever there's giant mech fights, there's always going to be at least a little bit of fun to be had. But when it comes to Mahito and Geto, if there's ever going to be a duo that you don't really want to go up against single-handed, it's those. So while it may be fun for a while, how well is he going to be able to escape? Probably not so well now there's a veil down as well. Maybe the whole mole situation will sort itself out itself. But to find out, we need to watch it, so sit down, make yourself comfortable, and let's see some more Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, if the last scene you saw from the previous episode, a massive hand blast being put off, this animation of him jumping about and enjoying it, kinda necessary. I think that's a good proponent for us as the audience. If we saw a giant mech like this, I'd think I'd react pretty much the same way. That is very Armored Puppet Ultimate Mecha Mario Prototype 0. And that is very Evangelion. There's that scream. The plan here to try and get out of all of this, I wonder how well it's gonna go, especially with his... Wait, the beam hasn't happened yet. Using a year of energy for the hand beam. Maybe he should have used 5 years or something, just to make sure. You know, a much bigger dent in the environment. And when you've got someone that can... Wow. He could... I like that splash screen. When you get someone who can morph their body like the way Mahito can, get himself out of situations, whether it be giving himself rabbit feet to jump and run faster, or some sort of armoured shell. It's going to be an interesting fight between the two of them. I wonder if he's going to turn into some like kaiju type beast. And I don't think I talked about as much as I probably should have when I first watched this, but some of the scenes in this opening are pretty... well, they get my mind racing at least a little. If you leave the likes of Mahito and not just running about on a subway, it's going to be lots of issues for everyone involved. Considering it seems as though we've got sorcerer on sorcerer, action cursed spirit and the like joining in. And some of the visualizations like this bit. Just who is going to be involved in this Shibuya plot. Well, that's what you really need. Some soul damage there. So what does it do? Just to slightly incapacitate him enough so you got time to face on Geto and escape? Is that what he's planning? Some of these twists and dives really quite nicely animated with the proportions and perspective that he's going for. I don't think the dam is doing all too well. Hopefully nothing's downstream. So you've got Ultra Beam, Ultra Cannon, now Miracle Cannon. He's just going in and smashing and having fun. He has a backup plan. It's pretty good. Well, I hope he locks on nicely. No shoulder-mounted missile launchers. Oh. I mean, small dart. I'm guessing hopefully a fair amount of damage from it. That twist blowing off his arm, tearing sinew and muscle asunder. There's a lot of motion blur on this. Getting 2 good hits in there. Now, before he has a chance to recover, you probably want to get in a good attack. I recognize that kick. She's brought it back, making him think that it hasn't been damaged, trying to get the upper hand that and trying to scare him. And what happens if the power cord in the back comes loose? This could be the... It's venting. He doesn't have all too much left if he's using 8 already. Pigeon Viola. Okay, if he's creating some tracking the laser beams. Oh, now that is interesting. We're seeing him shapeshift while also dodging around. How many forms is he going to take before the end of this? That is inventive, going from bird to like puma type thing to rat, gorilla. So, trying to find out which ones need to be avoided or not. Cool backdrop to be had there. Rocket punch. The size difference, and yet the Magneto is still seemingly got a massive upper hand. Different thinker this time. Get a good hit in. Oh no. That is creepy as hell. Well, shit. Whenever you've got domain expansions, it's never good, but even more so when you've got these creepy hands back. I do love this animation. Please don't say it's over that simply. "9 years, 5 months, 6 days. Well, at least he is not configured or transformed yet. I'm guessing these are the soul arrow things that he was using before. Damn it, Shinji. I mean, if he's shouting about seeing everyone again, I don't want to make any flags or anything. If he is initially protected from this domain, that's at least... Now go for the head. At least a start. Simple domain. Ah, much like her sword draw. Ah! Now you got some full Cronenberg mutation going on. Maybe use some more fingers. Make sure he's properly damaged. And the fact that he made this, got the simple domain working pretty good for Mechamaru in his newly formed body. You may want to double tap Mojito just to make sure first. And that is if he can get up to him. Oh, you had to say it, mate. Double tap. You went for a chest shot. He's got more defenders on him. It might not be able to stop Ghetto, but at least there's something here. He is really enjoying this. I love how creepy it all is. Battle of flesh and machine. And some very classic colour schemes, especially for fire. And while we're focused on this Mechamaru, what is... I know that face. Anyone who's seen Gurren Lagann has probably seen it as well. But when you're trying to get in close, especially against someone like Mojito, he might be sleeping for a while. Having this conversation to end off the fight and moment we just had. It's a very one-sided conversation since he was meant to be going to sleep. Much like he wanted a body and to be able to go and see them. Ah. So he purposely made him think as though he'd actually succeeded. And great. We've got a cursed veil that was put into practice and perfected over the course of this battle. Now a very silent scene. Right in the center there. We're actually going to start off with the destruction and damage and plan that's being made about. That's a very much different city and streetscape here. People enjoying people enjoying their Halloween. I see a Waldo, or if you're American, Wally costume, one that seems very reminiscent. Why do they look familiar? Very reminiscent of characters from like Deathman, Crybaby. I thought I saw something else in the background a long time ago, but I've forgotten what it was now. With so many superheroes around, hopefully they'll be able to do something. She can see it. I wonder how many here actually noticed something was odd. Those that aren't trained, and he needs to put down the drink. A lot of people trying to enjoy themselves. Is that I was about to ask if that a flood of people. Kinda. Hopefully we don't have a Brother Moon situation. For anyone that's played Dead Space, you know what I'm talking about. A conglomerate of corpses. Ordinary people are able to enter. Well, if we've got Fushiguro, if we've got Megami, Nanami, can't remember his name, but Balaclava dude. At least this little team might be fun to watch. Is it? their dynamic, them bouncing off each other, is going to be interesting. What other teams are we going to have around? They all cried the same? Which means that there's something inside making them say it, either giving them the idea or forcing it upon them. But is she not listening and just pulling lint off of her uniform? The fight is starting. The plan is about to... I know that voice. The attack has started. Little guerrilla warfare teams around. I'm guessing the citizens are already maybe too far gone. You think if events like this are somewhat commonplace, oh, pretty peaceful. Welcome to the tornado of people. Huh. You think if things like this were somewhat commonplace, you wouldn't have massive gatherings just in case? Underground. I don't know. We were just told, so therefore... I mean, some people are handling it a lot better than you would think. And what happened to those that were close to the station? There's a few good... Oh no. Well, I guess it's not that bad. The man of the hour has arrived. Just who they were looking for. Not that they know it right now. But god damn it, the fact that so much kind of revolves around Gojo. The pitfalls of being who he is. He's drawing in innocents and civilians into shit like this. Granted, in Geto's plan, we're going to use them anyway, but still. Going from one massive fight to another, one much more personal, one with potentially a lot of casualties. This episode is going pretty fast. If massive loss of life is already accounted for and they're just trying to minimize the casualties amongst the sorcerers, they're already expecting the worst. But I did like a lot to do with the fight with Mekamaru. And not just because there were certain frames and animations and bits and pieces that were very reminiscent. Chocolate chip melon bread? I wonder what Mekamaru's plan actually was, because making any sort of deal with them was never actually going to go down well, Because, well, as soon as their half was upholded, they got no use for it anymore. It's like, well, exactly what happened. And when he was trying to cut himself away from the rest of the team, and then in those moments wanting to, I'll make it back and be able to see them. Maybe if he didn't spout some flags and cliches, it would have went down differently. I doubt it, but the fact it went from giant mech battle down to a hand-to-hand fight, why have I seen that before? Even though it didn't really last all too long. What a night to have a grand plan to pull off. Halloween itself, a massive celebration, people trying to enjoy themselves. Just stay away from the underground, unless you want to go down the drain, apparently. What exactly is down there? How much destruction is going to be wrought? How many assault sorcerers are actually going to be turning up injured thanks to all of this? I'm slightly worried, partially because it's in the middle of the city, even if they are already counting on several casualties. I don't think any of our team that we really know and love have had too much extra screen time. We need some more time with them before they get thrown into a situation like this. Plus, it's probably a good thing that Yuji didn't end up getting the name, address, and phone number of that girl. Might be a little difficult when he's going on missions like these. But yeah, going back to the big mecha fight, having flesh against steel, the multiple hands and abominations that we saw there with Mahito, the twisting of flesh. That was gross. Quite well animated, and granted it made for an interesting fight, but gross nonetheless. And while I have somewhat seen Evangelion, having the big mecha screams and the knee-up kick thing, really leaning into it quite close. But also, like I said, kind of Gainax style, I really like the bold colours of the fire and flames, the oranges, yellows, and blue, I think was it in the middle? And especially when you get really up close to his face, you got scratch, sketchy marks. When you got high impact, high energy, high cursed output, you're going to need something to back it up, and I think this episode did it quite well. Even with the weird motion blur, jarring fuzziness on the frames, which it did its job quite well. Definitely showed motion with the morphing and evolution as Mahito was escaping through all the undergrowth and branches. However directed that bit, well done. I'm pretty sure if you played through it frame by frame, there will be some spectacular cursed images there. But then again, if you play it at full speed, there's some spectacularly cursed images, so well, we lose either way. But really, if you have enjoyed this episode, please let me know. If you leave a like and a comment on the video, it really helps out the channel. If you want to tell me what your Halloween costume would be, considering the month is sneaking up on us rather quickly. Personally, I haven't quite decided, but still, no, you're not seeing me in a maid's costume. But either way, if you've had fun, consider joining onto my Discord, but most importantly, keep yourself safe, comfortable, relaxed. Get a nice bit of rest so that I can see you in the next one. If you would go through a massive mech battle just to see me again, well, you're already going above and beyond, but it could be so much simpler. Consider just joining onto my Patreon, helping out the channel, and there's no need for violence or big battles. But hell, maybe that's your thing, but in the meantime, I do need to thank Noku, Raywin, Sal, Shiwan, Guado, Tori Jane, Croyville, Kite, Lightwizard91, Megu42, Diego Zenhausen, Maxwell, Cardboard, and everyone else. Because without them, I may as well just be asleep on a bench.